They're not coming up to put the light on. Yeah, that's good. Because I want them to see me. Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another podcast. This is for Die Hard, the original Die Hard from 1988. Hopefully, I could get to do this. I'll keep the volume low so that there's no, I don't get any copyright infringement. So let's do this. It's 2 hours long, so I want to get to it. Keep it really low because I don't want any copyright. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes. Well, that's with the end credits, like 2 hours and 5. Yes, I know. Graphic violence, graphic language, etc., etc. It's not a kid's movie. There's a 20th Century Fox logo. The chat's open for you guys. Why isn't this on Disney Plus? I don't know. Because Disney Plus hasn't, they don't have the Die Hard movies, the Predator movies, Alien films, or any of them. They have already content now because they have some of the Marvel movies already. This is the original Die Hard. I'm glad they have it on demand so I can watch it because my DVD is scratched, so I couldn't watch it there. John McTiernan, yes, he's retired from directing. It's too bad. He did a lot of great films in the 80s and the early 90s. And Bruce Willis is officially retired as of next year, so. Yeah. I first saw this movie not in 1988. I was only 3. I saw this movie back in 2009 because I wanted to see it. I had only seen like the parts of the fourth movie. I didn't see the first film, and it still holds up. It's a movie that gets re-released almost every year because it's a good movie, a great movie, one of the best action films. I'm a cop. Any copyrighted music, I have to keep it down because I don't want to get any copyright. There it is, Die Hard. And yes, I did see this in the theater. They re-released it in 2013, and I saw all the movies in the theater, all 5. And it's a Christmas movie. Get over it, people. Stop saying, is this a Christmas movie? It takes place during Christmas. It counts. Any movie that has a Christmas scene, that's more than 5 minutes, is a Christmas movie. So this counts. Jumanji doesn't count. It only has one scene of Christmas at the very end. There's a Takagi, the Japanese. It's a Japanese company. Well, that's classical music. I don't think I'll get busted for that, but I have to keep the volume low. If I put this high and they hear the Rum DMC or whatever, I'll get a copyright infringement, and I don't want that this time because I got one for Why Him last year. So. Yes, I will have a happy new year because I'm not taking 2023 for granted. William Anderton, yeah, the guy from Ghostbusters, he did this after Ghostbusters, and this is Ellis. This guy was in Supergirl from 1984. Why is he hitting on a married woman? Doesn't he? Oh yeah, I forgot. He thinks she's single. And now that Bruce Willis is retired, they can't do a Die Hard 6 or a prequel. And I don't want a reboot of Die Hard. You can't do it better. Yeah, this has a massive cast. Yeah, there's a pregnant woman in the movie as well. I don't know why guys hit on it. Even some guys do hit on married women. I don't understand. See, he has Lucy and it has his son Jack. People didn't know that Jack was in the first movie. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue, but he's in the movie. Yes, he's in the movie. So I don't like where did he had a son and they never told him about it. See the first movie again, guys. He has a daughter and a son. See, look at the picture. Him, Jack, Lucy, and the mom. It's too bad that Bonnie Bedelia never came back after the second movie because in the third one they said that they were separated. The fourth one, same thing. Paulina, yeah. This is in the 80s when people had a Spanish housekeeper for some reason. I don't know why. It's a stereotype. I'm sick of it. It's not funny. They did this in a lot of movies. This movie, they did it in a Chris Rock movie in the 2000s. They did this in Master of Disguise. It's old already, guys. Not every Spanish person cleans a house. That's a stereotype. I do it because I have to. At least I can speak English, unlike some of them. They could say 2 words. Yeah. So people like, where did Jack come from? He has a son in this movie. He doesn't have he doesn't have any dialogue, but he's in the movie. People got to keep their eyes open. It's not like they pulled a son out of their hat like they did with other movies. Because I did all the Die Hard sequels on DVD, so those are done. Yeah, Die Hard 2, With a Vengeance, Live Free to Die Hard, and Good Day to Die Hard. I did all of them. Jane McClane. Yeah, Argyle's cool. I like him. Why did I have to do this early? Because I have some things to do later. I got to feed my dog and then go out to the store. So, and I'm going to miss Bruce Willis as an actor. It's too bad that he had brain damage from all those years of doing those direct-to-video films and direct-to-streaming. Now we know why he made so many bad films after 2013. VHS, yeah. Kids won't know what that is now. Everything is streaming and touching tablets and using your phones to watch stuff. I could have watched this movie on my computer, but I didn't want to go through that. I'm like, it's on cable. I'll watch it here. I just keep the sound low so I don't get any copyright infringement. I'm not worried about the footage. I'm worried about the sound. There's a Nakatomi building. This should beat you up. Yeah, he is fast. That building is huge. It's like the building in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Yeah, my brother's a cop. John DeBon, he's the director of photography. He did uh the first 2 Tomb Raider. I think he did the first Tomb Raider movie, yeah. He also did Speed, and Speed the first Speed is good. Not Keep This Low. There's a copyrighted song here. No music. I can't do this because I'm not gonna get I am not getting a copyright infringement this time for any music in the movie, whether it be unless it's classical music, because that usually doesn't get it gets a pass. But yeah, Stephen E. D'Souza used to do some of the best writing in any action movie. Now, after Street Fighter, he lost it. Yeah, because did you see Street Fighter 1994? That movie's horrible. Well, no music. Don't want to get a copyright infringement at all. When I do Endgame, I also have to keep the volume low because the movie's very copyrighted. It's got a lot of music in it. And you don't get action until almost 30 minutes into the movie. This is because it's a slow build. Back in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, they had a little thing called patience. People have patience. Nowadays, people just want things to happen every 5 minutes. I'm like, I can wait. Just don't bore me to death. See, we're only about 10 minutes in. See, there's a Christmas tree. Yeah, she puts Gennaro. That's her Italian last name, maiden name. Yeah, touch screens. That's what everything does now. Now people use touch screens for everything. Even McDonald's has it. See, McDaniel, McDonald, McCarthy, Martinez, Meeks, Miller, Holly Gennaro. The 30th floor. That's a lot. This is on Stars Encore, so luckily they had the movie here. I was gonna watch it even if it was edited for TV because again, I've seen this movie so many times. It's just I got to get the Blu-ray with the digital copy so I can see it next time on my own. But this will do. Because if this was on Twitch or something, I could use copyrighted music. They don't care. But on YouTube, they care so much about copyright. I'm not stealing the music. I'm just seeing the movie. That's all. YouTube, don't penalize me for it. Because all the other films I could do, if I have other Bruce Willis movies I want to do next year, Hostage. Uh, I did 16 Blocks already. Yeah, I did that one already. I haven't done uh, the Last Boy Scout. I can't find it anymore. I'm gonna have to just get another copy of it. I had the movie on DVD, but it was the full screen version. I had the Blu-ray, but I lost it somewhere, or either that or someone stole it from me. There's a Christmas tree. At least Bruce Willis had a lengthy career. There's people that had one flop and they never did a big budget movie again. Look at Jeff Speakman. He had one chance to make an impression. He made an impression, but at the box office, that's what's going to give you more work when your movies make money. Oh yeah, this guy kisses him on the cheek, not on the lips. There ain't no gay stuff in this movie. Yeah, because again, this was 1988. If there were gay characters in the 80s film, they probably were a side character or they were killed off because it's happened too. And this movie is a classic. Like, I mean, in 2028, this movie's going to be like what, 40 years old? Yeah. I think next year it's going to be 35 years old. Yeah. Because 1988, 2023. So, yeah. Ellis was doing Coke. Yeah. This is still an R-rated movie. It looks like, oh, it's a family drama. And no, bam, once the terrorists show up to the Nakatomi Plaza, yeah, it all hell breaks loose, literally. The rest hour, the other hour and 40 minutes of the movie is just chaos, shooting, people getting thrown out windows, blood everywhere, explosions, 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 but it works. Unlike in a Michael Bay movie where it's 2.5 hours and it's longer than this. Yeah, this guy's weird. In Ellis, the actor that plays Ellis, he didn't have any facial hair in Supergirl, and he fell in love with Helen Slater. Can you blame him, Josh? She's one of the most beautiful women of the '80s, and still is. The movie's not great, but she is just beautiful. Like I love looking at her golden hair and that wonderful face. Where did he get the cocaine? I don't know. I don't know where people get this stuff. I know because in the '90s they used to solicit drugs around, in Brooklyn, but nowadays because of COVID, even drug dealers had to disappear. People smoke a lot of weed. You can buy those in certain stores, but and online. But for some reason, yeah, not a lot of drug use anymore, which is a good thing because I never use that stuff. Hmm. I've stayed straight edge since I was a kid. Never smoked, never drank, and never did any drugs. You saw Evian water? I remember that. Evian water? Yeah, they still sell that nowadays. Let me see, what time is it? How much time? 14 minutes. It says 15 here because I started a podcast. It's a good movie, man. This is a really good film. I should have saw it in the 80s, but I was too young. It's like Top Gun. I was a baby when it came out, the first Top Gun. Yep, a finagling couple. That's why you keep the door locked. Yeah. Hmm. They didn't believe in hiring a married woman. Hey, Marcello, what's up? I'm watching Die Hard. Yeah, you can't lie about your marital status. If you're married, you have to say you're married, even if you're separated. You don't lie about that. I don't lie about that. I'm still single. I'm fine with it. I want to go into 2023 with some momentum. At least it's not raining today. Yesterday was raining all day. They don't believe in hiring married women. I don't get it. I know this is the 80s, back then, women weren't getting all the roles in movies or getting all the jobs, but nowadays things have changed. Here come the villains. Yeah, about 20 minutes into the movie. At least they introduced them early. Nowadays, you can have a 2-hour movie and they don't introduce the villain until halfway through the movie, and that's way too long. You don't need the villain in the 2-hour mark. Disney. You with Pirates 2, I just watched that again, and you don't see Davy Jones until about an hour into the movie. That's way too long to wait. You want to build up a villain, but you don't show them near the end. At least in Harry Potter, they had build up for Voldemort for 3 movies, and then in the fourth one, he finally shows up in human form. That worked. But again, that was a series of films. In your second movie, you got to introduce the villain a lot sooner. They do in Die Hard. In Die Hard 2, you had William Sadler's character, and he's introduced naked. I don't know why naked, but and they're Germans, just like the Nazis in Indiana Jones, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and also Last Crusade. Is the window open? Because there's a bomb. And that's the problem with movies nowadays. They say when it's an R-rated movie, they say, "Oh my God, it's too violent." I'm like, what are you expecting, guys? R-rated movies are not meant for children. They never were. That's why I didn't see them until the '90s with a family member. There's Alan Rickman. I miss him a lot, man. This is but years before he did Harry Potter, before he was Professor Snape, who's an anti-hero. I thought he was a villain, but he's not. He dresses like a villain, but he's an anti-hero. Whoopee, whoopee, whoopee. Yeah. And these are computers in the 80s. There was no internet yet. There was no social media, thank God. And there were also no like mobile games or anything like that. No one had cell phones back in 1988. I know, I was there. They were just house phones. And Reginald Vell Johnson did this right before Family Matters' first season, where he also played a cop, and that would be his defining role after Die Hard. Man, this movie still holds up. See, 20 minutes in, we already got the villains. We don't have to wait an hour. It's good pacing. You got this Asian guy who also was in Double Dragon. He was in Last Action Hero. I'm probably going to see that in the theater. They're re-releasing it in the theater at the Alamo Draft House in the new year. I want to go see it. I've never seen it in the theater. I was 9 when it came out. Wait, no, 9 or 10. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that's not my brother because I don't want to. No, this is safe. We're safe because I don't want him interrupting me. These actors are some of them are still alive. Not Alan Rickman or I think the blonde guy also the Hans or whatever. The main side villain is he. I don't think I think he passed away too. It's funny because there's just a bunch of white guys and one black guy, the tech guy, and then the hacker, and then you have the Asian guy. But it's not forced diversity. Like nowadays, they will make all these villains black, Hispanic, or whatever. Because nowadays you have to force it. And back then they didn't. You don't need it. Disney tried that and it failed. Fox back in the '80s did not do that. They put when it was necessary, they did it. When it's not, they just say, let's just put a bunch of white people because it's a period piece or something. You still got the teddy bear in there. That I don't think Lucy ever. I mean, Holly gets that teddy bear at the end of the film. This guy's got a chainsaw. That was huge in the '80s because you had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels. You had Evil Dead had chain. Well, not the first Evil Dead, but the sequels had chainsaws, and then you had this movie. It's crazy how many movies had chainsaws back then. Yeah, again, no cell phones back then, so it was hard to communicate with people. Now you could just shoot somebody a text. Say there's no phone line for that. That's why the Japanese companies and Asian companies made cell phones so people can use them. And you notice nobody notices them coming in. Now the movie starts. Because the first 20 minutes is just a bunch of people, partying, and then bam, terrorists show up. And I heard that Violent Night is basically a mix of like Bad Santa and Die Hard. Well, sounds like my kind of movie. Yeah, there's some tits in the movie. Yeah, it's only tits in the movie, pretty much, from a woman. Yeah, because back then they can show it and not be like, oh, that's so sexist. Again, different time, guys, different time. He's running with no shoes or anything, just his bare feet. Not me. I never run around a building with my bare feet. You know how cold the floors of a tile are. Tiles are. They're cold. There's just all the phones are dead. And also, John McClane is a normal guy. He's not a superhero. Nowadays, every action star has to be a superhero, even if it's not a superhero movie. Put it up. I can't hear his time. Yeah, this is when Hans Gruber is like, "Yep, I want to know where Takagi is," and he shows up. Hold on, because I gotta see this stupid lights are on the window. Please don't let that be my phone. No, that's not him. That's just the neighbors. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm gonna do this podcast no matter what because I owe you guys this. There's Takagi. It's hard to do podcasts up here because I don't know when some of my family members will show up or if there's a package because it's a Sunday. Now, Christmas Day, I don't have to worry. There won't be any packages here because it's a holiday, and then New Year's Day. Because in Harry Potter, he has no facial hair in that. He's just plain clean shaven, and he did all the film. Well, most of the films. I don't think he did the last one, but he also didn't do the Fantastic Beasts movies because those came out after he passed away. So it's too bad, man. They mostly made him a villain in a lot of films because Rickman has that voice. He was the sheriff of Nottingham. He was not a villain in Galaxy Quest. That's one of the few roles that he's not a villain. When he did sci-fi, he usually was like a side character that wasn't a villain. It's not Christmas until I've seen this guy fall off the Nakatomi building. Because I didn't see this movie last year on Christmas. Because again, scratched up DVD. I've had the DVD for 13 years. Of course, it's going to be scratched. Come on, puppy. Puppy, puppy, puppy. There's John sneaking into around the building. We're about almost 30 minutes in. Yeah. Film has a really good pacing, mostly. Nakatomi Socrates. Yeah. This is an intimidating villain, and unlike other villains, like Ben Mendelsohn, he thinks he has to scream to be intimidating. No, that's not intimidating. That's just being dumb. Because in Rogue One, he just screams. That's not scary. You don't have to scream to prove that you're the authority there. Darth Vader never had to raise his voice like that. Who said we were terrorists? Yeah, $640 million in bonds. That's how much money Black Panther 2 has made so far worldwide. It's not going to make a billion, and even if it does, it's not touching the first movie's money because the first movie had Bozeman in it. This one did not, and it hurt. I missed him, and it was emotionally draining. That movie. This movie's not emotionally draining because I've seen it so many times, and it's shorter. Yeah, this movie from '88 is shorter than a sequel that came out this year. Many sequels that came out this year that were overlong or will come out, like Avatar 2. I'm going to count to three. Okay. See, he's not hesitant to kill a man in front of people, and there were witnesses. Yet there's, yeah. See, this is a villain that will kill you. He's not going to say, "I'm going to kill you," and doesn't do it. I like villains that are actually active. That they're not just going to say things; they do things. That's why Thanos was a great villain in Infinity War. He didn't say, "I want the stones." No, he takes them. He takes them from the characters. That's what made the movie work. If that movie had a lame villain, the movie would have bombed. Just like in Lightyear or that's what people do nowadays. They're on their phones all the time. Because back in the '80s, yeah, and they nobody was on their phones because there were no phones back then. Not iPhones anyway. That's why when they re-released this movie a few years ago, I was like, yeah, don't need to see it. I saw it in the theater already. Not the I think it was the Blu-ray, but it was the movie. It wasn't like some special edition of the film. Hmm. And I enjoyed a lot of McTiernan's movies, except for Basic. That was like the last film he directed, and I didn't care for it. I thought the twist at the end ruined the movie for me. The fire alarm. There's a doorbell. Hold on, I'll be back. Hold on. I'll just leave the movie on. It's fine. I got it right. It's probably a package. There's always a freaking package. Every Sunday there's a package. Every single Sunday. It would have happened either way. Sorry about that, Red. Don't worry. Just stay there. Sorry about that, folks, but there's no one in the chat anyway. So another package. I can't believe they do this to me every single time. I should eat. I should go get something to eat. Hold on. It's okay, Ratchy. They're gone. I'm gonna eat some food. I'll get some berries. Yeah, because Danny's cup that he bought from Medieval Times, cracked. It cracked in half. I accidentally broke it last year, but oh well, he's not looking for it anyway. Oh, this is the blonde guy that he kills. Let me just get some berries. Where's the blueberries? Yeah, there's some fresh ones. Are these fresh still? Yeah. Eat these. Don't worry, guys. I'm still here. I knew there was going to be another package. Whoop. There's the saw. There's a stunt double here. Yeah, it's a stunt double. Let me get a drink too. There's a little bit of orange juice left, so don't worry, guys. I'm still here. Stupid package is coming every Sunday, man. It's every single Sunday. Every time I try to watch something up here, the doorbell rings. It's always because of. Thankfully, it wasn't a box. It was a little bag. And I had to do this movie early because the movie's long. Even if I skip some of it, I just let the movie keep going. I can't stop the film because if I stop it, it'll end later. A lighter. California, yeah, right. There's his feet. He's one of my sisters. Yeah, I love the one-liners in this movie. Yeah, and also they show a lot of his feet. Tarantino would have had a ball if he was a director in the '80s. This movie would have just done his foot fetish. Some it would have given him a draw. I think Tarantino was like in his 20s or something, or a teenager in the '80s when this movie came out. Yeah, I ate some blueberries. It's good for my body. My blood pressure was too high this past week, so I need to lose some weight. I'm gonna go take a walk later, and I'm gonna eat less. Yeah, he killed her boss. Hey, Electric Dino, what's up? I'm doing Die Hard. Had a couple of interruptions, but it is what it is. Now I have a machine gun. Oh! I love that. That's the first sign that yeah, the villain is not is it didn't see this coming. Yeah, he put that in his blood. Ho ho. And there's no subtitles in the movie, so I don't know what they're saying. But back then, that was a different time. Nowadays, you have to read half the movies. Like Shang-Chi had a lot of subtitles, and so did Black Panther too, which it didn't need that many. I get the Wakandan accents and the language. That's all they needed. Atuma and them could have been speaking English. It would have been fine. I just saw I rewatch Aquaman. They ain't no subtitles in that movie. There's some Russian in the beginning, and that's it. The rest of the movie is in English, which is perfectly fine. It's a fantasy. I don't want to live. I don't want to live in reality where there's like 155 languages and 85 million dialects and vernaculars. Yeah, I'm fine with it, guys. I'm over it. This movie's not a classic because they speak German. It's a classic because the action is good and the story is good and the writing is good and it still holds up. It doesn't need CGI to make it look better. It still has like a flaw. Like I think that when he catches the villain, I think he should have just killed him. But no, they have to stretch out the running time for 30 more minutes, like a James Cameron movie. Wink, wink. Where the third act of True Lies, it just drags. I'm like, I think after the highway scene, it should have ended there. I think the movie's just too long. Like this movie is not too long. It's long enough. It's like it's got the same running time of Top Gun Maverick. See a sequel that came out years later. Not alter the plan. Yeah, never do that. Yeah, never alter a plan. You have to go with it and have a plan B if that doesn't work. I love how adult this movie is, but it doesn't get overly dark. Like, yes, people die. There's a lot of bloodshed in the movie, but it has a sense of humor in it too. Even though McTiernan's sense of humor is a little more, you know, lowbrow compared to other directors. It's not shoved down your face though. With Watiti, sometimes he doesn't know when to let a joke just stop. He just keeps going. Watiti, you don't want to be Seltzer and Freeberg. They can't just do one joke. They have to take one joke and stretch it out to 5 minutes. We get it, okay? Ha ha ha. Nowadays, an R-rated movie, they either have to put too many jokes or the jokes fall flat. You know? Oh, I love this scene. This scene. Watch. What do you think I'm ordering a pizza? I love that. That's great because in the TV version they cut that scene out, and I'm like, no, you don't do that. You don't neuter an R-rated movie like Yippee Ki Melon Farmer and all that. It's dumb. I've never seen any of the Die Hard movies. See them, classic film collector. If you're a classic film collector, you would watch these films all the way. Yes, even the fifth movie, as flawed as it is, it's still a made movie. It was a movie that was finished. It's not incomplete. Like it's not an incomplete movie like the Justice League theatrical cut. Again, yeah, they had to do. He had to use a walkie-talkie because there was no cell phones back then. If this was Die Hard 6, John would whip out a cell phone and be like, boom, boom, boom. Hey, police, there's people in this building. It would make things a lot easier, wouldn't it? But back in 88, it's more isolated. He's in the building and he doesn't have a lot to work with. He has to just use what's around him. There's Reginald Vell Johnson. Yeah. Alan. Yeah, now paper bags are everything now. They don't use a lot of plastic bags anymore. FY, the username doesn't lie. I am indeed a classic contemporary film collector. So am I. If you see my movie collection videos, I have a lot of classic movies. And I've seen many classic. I just haven't seen every classic. And this is a classic. It's a classic action movie and Christmas movie. You got to see it. You have this is the season. Watch it somewhere. Stream it somewhere. They have to have it somewhere. I'm watching it on Stars Encore because it's not on Netflix. It's not on Disney Plus. It should be on Disney Plus. I know it's an R-rated movie, but now they have a code so kids can't see R-rated content on Disney Plus, like the Netflix Marvel shows and Deadpool 2 and Logan. Those are all they got so far. And I don't want to rent this movie. It makes no sense. If they have it on cable, I'll watch it. It's a classic no matter where you watch it. VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, cable, on streaming in the theater. It's always it holds up, man. It holds up really well. And McTiernan never shakes the camera. Please see The Fableman at least once before you die. I'm not seeing it this year. It's depressing. It's long, but it's a masterpiece. I'll watch it in 2023 when it's on HBO Max or something, whatever. If it's on streaming, I'll watch it then. But not right now. It bombed, so it'll be on streaming soon. I need some tissue. Hold on. Yeah. I'm just happy I don't have to do the dishes today. It's not allowed. So I ain't doing no dishes if there's like two of them. No. Yeah, the garbage I have to throw out, but I do that later. I'll do that after I feed Dolly. Yeah, this is a classic film. A classic because it's been a while. It's been in the theater since 1988, so it's almost 35 years old. I think it's time to see it either this year or in the new year. There's some tits, but it's just a picture. There's no Peacock Universal doesn't release movies on HBO Max anymore. And by the way, Michelle Williams gives an Oscar-worthy performance. Yeah, I don't doubt that. She's a good actress. And John is a bloody mess in all these movies. It's like Tom Holland at the end of every Spider-Man movie. He's always bleeding from somewhere. Because in the first movie, he gets covered in rubble. The second movie, Mysterio beats him up. And then in the third movie, he just, Green Goblin just owns him in the beginning and, in the middle of the film. And it's a great fight at the end with him and the Goblin. That's the best that's the best fight in the movie at the end in No Way Home, which I'm going to get for Christmas. Because if this was a movie nowadays, it would subtitle this because they can't release a movie in German without subtitles. That won't work because people can't read German. Sorry, some people don't know German. And this is a classic. I trust me. Even the sequels. I think the second movie is also a classic. People just crap on it because it's not the first one. It doesn't need to be the first one. It's on an airplane. It's a lot darker than the first one. I mean, William Sadler kills a plane filled with people on a British flight. And nowadays, they would never remake that movie because of 9/11. No, they would never remake Die Hard 2. So Guardians 3 is apparently James Gunn's last Marvel project. That is fine. He's still doing Peacemaker for DC. That's why. Peacemaker is going to get a second season, and I'm happy for Cena. The rest of the cast can blow me mostly, except for Jennifer Holland. I like her, but most of the rest of the cast, I don't like them in Peacemaker. I like Cena, the tech guy with the beard, Eagly, and Jennifer Holland. That is it. The black girl, don't care about her. The British guy that plays Vigilante, no. The Robert Patrick I liked in the first season, but he died in the first season, so he won't be back. We're about an hour in, right? Yeah. It says 11:50. Yeah, 50 minutes. Good stunt work, by the way. Yeah, there ain't no CGI in this movie. The second movie had some, blue screen in the background when he blows up. When the plane blows up and he flies out of the ejector seat. I already did the podcast for that movie last year. So, oh yeah, this is the vent scene. Yeah, that everybody shows on Facebook. Come to the coast. Coast. Gotta have a few laughs. I love that. That's a great line. This movie has such memorable lines. Compared to Bintos like Gemma Gemma, not how boring is Emilia Clarke. She's boring. In Solo, you can't even see her in the movie. She's there, then she's gone for a while, then comes back in the middle of the film, and then she's a traitor at the end saying, "Oh, Darth Maul, I'm going to work with you," and that doesn't go anywhere. And I'm sorry, showing her tits in Game of Thrones doesn't make her a good actress. It's what you can say and how you do your lines, and how you project is what makes you a good actress, not just your body. This movie's so iconic, man. And I would have missed out if I never saw this in the theater, but I did. So I'm very lucky. It wasn't even Christmas time. It was February. It was right after, it was like right before Valentine's Day. I saw a marathon of these movies. But of course, I had to get up because it was 10 hours, all 5 movies. It was about 9 or 10 hours. Every time the movie was over, I went to the bathroom to stretch my legs because I can't sit in a theater for 10 hours. You know how you keep saying Caitlin Deaver has a cute nose? Yeah, I know. I love it. It's the sexiest nose I've ever seen on a woman. And yeah, Maggie Q also has a cute nose. It's not as big as Caitlin's, but yeah, just what a doll. They hit the jackpot with the genetics that they have. They're beautifully made, wonderfully made. Mhm. Here, Bonnie Bedelia is cute, but she's not like as desirable as other actresses because Maggie Q was in 4, and I saw her and I was like, oh my God, I am in love. And she went toe to toe with Bruce Willis. This is an older Bruce Willis, like 12 years after Die Hard with a Vengeance, and she beats the hell out of him. And he's not a superhero though, because he does fight back, but she's a tough chick, and she should have been the main villain because Timothy Oliphant did not work. He's talking to his teeth like this. Can't hold a candle to William Sadler, Alan Rickman, or even Jeremy Irons in the third one. Stevie Wonder. Yeah, that's a reference kids won't recognize now. Yeah, good. Maggie Q, that woman is gorgeous. Some people think she's too thin. No, she is just the right amount of she has the right amount of meat on her bones. That just, I love it. I want to meet her at Comic Con one day. I hope she goes to Comic Con next year because I see these women and then you see them in person and you just light up like a candle. That guy's a good actor. The guy that's the doorman. I forgot who his name was. Does Mulan 2 look better than the 2020 movie? Oh yeah, definitely. It's not a great sequel, but it's short. It's not 2 hours long like the remake is. And also Bruce Willis has a tank top in this movie, but it's not white like Vin Diesel in those Fast movies. Why are there 35 characters in Fast 10? I have no idea. Wait. All I know is if that movie is 3 hours long, I'm not seeing it in the theater. I might not even see it in the theater. I'll just wait till streaming because that ninth movie was garbage. It was a freaking cartoon. You went from a 90, about an hour and 45-minute racing movie to a freaking movie that where a car goes into space. That's stupid. Oh, I love this scene. People clapped in the scene in the theater. Not with that part. This other part. No more table. Yeah, I love this scene. Yeah, this scene was great. People clapped in the theater because it's badass. He's like shooting him under the table. Yeah, they don't do that in movies anymore. Boom, 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 boom. Hmm. Yeah, thanks for the advice. Love that. People clapped, and you know that the director of the 2020 film is a New Zealand woman. Yeah, obviously has no taste in. She can shoot a movie really well, but she doesn't know that being stoic is not being dramatic. You know, a musical would have been fine, and a jive talking dragon would have saved that movie. Hey, Josh, you just made it. We're about an hour into the movie. You haven't missed. You only missed about a third of it, but he's seen this movie already. Oh, this is the dead body. Yeah. And yes, Carl Winslow would never use this kind of language on Family Matters. Welcome to the party, pal. Love these lines, man. No, no music, no music. I don't want to get a copyright infringement. I really don't. This movie's such a classic, man. That car gets completely totaled. And yeah, there's an actor that just passed away that was in this movie. He's the black guy, and I think on the helicopter at the end. Yeah, so rest in peace to that man as well. There's William Anderson. He's introduced really late in the movie because this was a 58 minutes into the movie. Watiti's next film as a director is a sports comedy drama from Star Searchlight, which is owned by Fox, called Next Goal Wins. It releases in April. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Mario Brothers movie instead. I hope that's good. I really want that movie to be good because Mario means everything to me when it comes to gaming. Because you're not going to see any footage, but if they hear any music from this movie, trust me, they're gonna give me a copyright infringement. That's why I'm keeping the volume low. Never put your volume full blast unless the movie's public domain. Then they don't care. But if it's not, you'll get a copyright infringement. Double Jeopardy. Yeah, people won't get that reference now. That was when Alex Trebek was alive. Yeah, agreed. I can't wait for the Mario movie. I hope it's good. C4s. Rogers. Here comes the line. An hour and 1 minute into the movie. The most iconic line in the Yippee Ki motherfucker. Yep. The most iconic line in the entire film. And yes, it's in all 5 of the movies, except the PG-13 cut of Live Free or Die Hard. You have to see the unrated version for you to hear it. But it's like, but you hear it after the gunshot. Yeah, people in the newsroom, huh? And I saw Ghostbusters in the theater as well, the original. I haven't seen the second one in the theater. Hopefully they'll re-release it. Because the Alamo Draft House, they love re-releasing movies a lot. Yep. There should have been security outside. Normally, they will put security guards outside of a giant like high rise building, especially in Manhattan. Yeah, they don't have. They have security everywhere. The detonators. Yeah, yeah. They mentioned Arnold in this movie. I'd say Catherine Zeta-Jones and Jessica Chastain have cute noses too. Yeah, they're beautiful faces too. With Chastain, it's that red hair of hers. It's just so. It's so sexy. Catherine Zeta-Jones has dark hair like Wonder Woman. Yeah, see, he's busted open. The movie doesn't shy away from being violent because, again, R rated movie. Back then, that meant something. Nowadays, there's an R rating because they say the F word every 2 seconds, or the movie's overly violent. Like, it can't just shoot people or they're bleeding from their head. They have to, like, get ripped to shreds. I'm like, we get it, guys. It's a violent movie. Or it's NC-17 for over sexualization, like Blonde, which that's why I didn't see that movie because I'm like, no, showing Anna de Armas naked for no reason, it's just out of context and it's weird. There's Paul Gleason. Rest in peace to him as well. Hey, Lou J, what's up? Yeah, I can spot a phony ID too. I've seen phony IDs in the street. I don't know why people get a phony ID. No, every ID that I ever got from New York is certified. It's real. I never get a fake ID. I had to get a real ID back in 2004 when I was 19. I went to the DMV and waited. Mhm. So much tension in this scene. Yeah, remember when villains were threatening? Now some villains are a joke. Literally, they're a joke. Or they underuse them, like Christian Bale in Love and Thunder. Richard Thornburg is his name, yeah. He was Walter Peck in Ghostbusters. But here he's introduced a lot later than in Ghostbusters. He introduced about 45 minutes in. But again, if this was 2022, like in Skyscraper, that's like this movie, but it's PG-13. They had cell phones in that movie. They're not like, it's not the same movie because they're more advanced in technology in that movie compared to this one. Of course, this movie is better because it's more isolated. You can still have tension and be violent in an action movie. Ava did that, yeah, but Ava wasn't overly violent. It didn't go overboard like the last Rambo movie, Rambo: Last Blood, where it's racist and it's super violent, and it doesn't make any sense. Some stockbroker. That's why Ava. More people should have seen that movie and Peppermint because they're good actresses that are doing something different. Jennifer Garner's done action before, but this was like a really violent, like female version of John Wick in a way. I mean, she's a vigilante killer, that kills these people because they killed her family. That's John Wick, guys, or The Punisher from 2004. Roy. Mm. Wait, I only have 2 more weeks until my Christmas break. Yay! Good for you, Jay. Not Little Sims because he's never he's homeschooled, so he doesn't have school vacations. I'm already on a vacation. I just quit my job a few weeks ago. I had to. That job was killing me. I got my paycheck, so I'm gonna go cash it later. Ava has found some appreciation. Peppermint, I guess people didn't see it mostly because of the family dying, and plus they didn't enjoy mostly. I don't care what people think. I really enjoyed. Jennifer Garner did not deserve a Razzie nomination. She's good in that movie, guys. Nine Lives, okay, that movie sucked, but Peppermint is a lot better than that. Movies in the '80s, they just knew how to stay timeless. They didn't like. They don't have the. Some things are dated, but some things are not dated. Thomas Ian Griffith should be a Bond villain. He was a great villain in Cobra Kai. He's getting older though. I don't know who's going to be the next Bond, though. We'll find out next year. This is the product placement in the movie. You have a Crunch Bar, Planters, Peanuts, Raisinets, Mars. Yeah, but it's in the background. If this is a Michael Bay movie, they would shove it right in your face because that Bud Light freaking product placement was some of the stupidest product placement in any movie. They can't just show it. They have to show a truck. They hit it, and Mark Wahlberg grabs a bottle, takes the cap off, and takes a sip. I'm like, that's stupid. That's not funny. That's dumb, and I don't drink, so it's no relatable things. At least when Brad Pitt was drinking a soda in World War Z, I drink soda, so it's fine. But a beer, no, it's stupid. It's a freaking commercial. It's like, have a Bud Light, bro. No, it's terrible. That some of the product placement in movies just is so blatant. Remember Power Rangers where they put the 2017 movie where they had Krispy Kreme donuts? I don't even like those that much. I prefer Dunkin' Donuts. There's more Dunkin' Donuts in this area. There's a lot of black people in this movie, so it's not just about because you have Argyle, you have Alan, you have the black guy with the glasses, and then you have the black guy at the end in the helicopter. So it's very diverse for 1988. You saw Crunch. I love those Crunch bars. I used to eat those when I was a kid. I haven't had one in a long time. I want to probably eat one for the new year. Have you heard of a movie called See How They Run? Yeah, I think it bombed. Was that movie with as I said, Naya could do something like this with Caitlin and Karen and Jessica as a cousins, but more brutal. Yeah, but make one of them the villain. Or you can make the villain Lena Headey or something. She was a good villain in Dread because they throw her right out a window. Dread gets her high and throws her right out the freaking window. And feminists would have probably had a field day with that, saying, "How dare a man throw a woman out a window? She's a villain, guys, and she ain't pretty in that movie. She's got a scar on her face and she's ugly." Here come the explosions. There's a lot of explosions in the third act. We're an hour and 13 minutes in. Yeah, the movie's not that long. I'm already halfway through it and didn't even feel that hour. Fire in the hole. Kaylin could pull off a villain if they did that and give Naya a love interest like someone like me. This movie still holds up. Even the score in this movie is still good. Again, they do put subtitles in the sequel when they speak in Spanish. Yeah, because they also put subtitles in With a Vengeance a little bit, and in Live Free or Die Hard when they have the French guy in that movie. Yeah, the two French guys, I believe. Yeah, this is awesome. I love this scene. Yep, they blew up the LAPD tank or whatever that was. Yep, hit it again. Who do you think is worse, Tom Hardy or Chris Pratt? Well, Hardy, because he hasn't done a good performance in a while. I think since after Inception, he just stopped caring. That's why Nolan didn't use him again until Dunkirk, and he's covered in that. Dunkirk ain't no Top Gun Maverick, I'll tell you that much. It isn't. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is when he throws the computer off the into the elevator shaft. Yeah, with a bomb. It's funny. A C4 bomb looks like a brick or a gold bar. Ooh, ooh, what kind of a line was that? It's not a line. That's a noise. Like ooh. Yep. There's one of those old computers, like big computers from the '90s. Geronimo, motherfucker. Watch this. It's a great explosion, by the way. Yep. Watch. Good stunt work, by the way. Yeah. Pratt would never do a movie like this because he's too holier than thou. Yeah. You better not screw up Mario. I mean it. I heard the voice in the trailer. It's there. It's not horrible, but it's just there. You're not Lou Albano and you're not Charles Martinet. Just saying that. I haven't heard the other voice actors. I haven't heard Donkey Kong or Princess Peach or uh, Bowser, but mostly. But it better be good. If you want to be faithful to the games, besides the look wise, you have to have the voices that sound like the characters in the game. It really isn't that hard. Yep, Hans freaking Gruber, sir. And his brother is Simon Peter Gruber, which is great. Yeah, that it's a twist that actually works in that third movie because that third movie is still my favorite. I love this movie, but the third one is my favorite because it's in New York City, and as a native New Yorker, it hit me on a more personal note. I did hear the voices for Bowser, Toad, and Peach. I heard Toad; he sounds fine, but Peach, I haven't heard her yet. I just saw her. I haven't seen the new trailer. I'm gonna wait. Glass. That movie's gonna suck. Yeah, and yes, he was in the movie Glass, which is ironic. Bruce Willis, because it's a sequel to Split. Yes, Anna Taylor Joy's in that, but she doesn't do much. I still haven't seen Split. I saw Unbreakable, but I haven't seen Split or Glass. They're turning the Grinch into a horror movie. Yeah, they're doing that with Winnie the Pooh as well. The only horror movie I'm looking forward to next year is Cocaine Bear. That movie knows exactly what it is, and I know. Yes, I know who's directing it, but she's not writing it. He's still using the coke, huh? Neutralize that one dead. Yeah. Did you see my last comment about House of Cedar Run? Yeah, Cocaine Bear is not a horror movie. It's a thriller, I know, but it looks like a horror movie. What's next? They're gonna turn folk tales like Red Riding Hood and Han Solo into sci-fi movies. Well, wink, wink. I had an idea for a Red Riding Hood 2058. This guy's Canadian. I didn't know he was until recently. Hans, booby. No, you're just another bystander. Yeah, sometimes a mouthpiece doesn't last long in a movie like this. See, two of them. Two. See, people forgot that. Yeah, Red Riding Hood 2058 doesn't need to be like a hardcore R rating, horror movie. It doesn't need horror. There have been plenty of horror movies this year. I'm tired of people being in the dark all the time. I want things to be fun. Hmm. What if Watiti directed a reboot for this franchise? No, it wouldn't work because he would put a joke every 2 minutes and it would not work. With Thor, he got lucky the first time with Ragnarok. With Love and Thunder, you got to tone down the freaking comedy. Plus, it's more lighthearted and changes things up with the wolf by making him a guy in love interest. Yeah, yeah, he shouldn't be. He should have stayed quiet in the corner. There's some Coca Cola. Yeah, product placement, more product placement. They literally put the can right in front of him so they could pour it. Of course, he's not going to drink it because he's going to die soon. Under what condition would you watch X and Pearl? If it was Halloween, I would because I don't need to watch it in December. I don't watch horror movies in December unless it's horror, horror Christmas like Jack Frost or Black Christmas or something like that. Puppy, puppy, puppy. Yep. I don't have any pay. Well, so he does take a sip, but that's his last sip. Yep. Boom. His kill is off screen because the movie was already violent. They didn't want to get an X rating for the violence, so they had to make cuts here and there. With Takagi, you saw his head get splattered. Where are my detonators? Where are my detonators? Where are they? Or should I kill another one? Yeah, he's just a great villain, man. Come on, puppy. Yeah, here comes my puppy. Puppy, whoopee, whoopee. Yeah, she's. Yeah. See, he says, "Where are they?" Or should I shoot another one? The original Black Christmas, though, not the godforsaken remake. Yeah, the original. I just think it's too slow. That's my problem. I don't hate the 2006 version. It is what it is. It's still not feminized like the 2019 movie where it hates on men for 2 hours. Hmm. Puppy, 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 puppy. Ooh, come on, puppy. Gruber. Such a cute puppy. Time magazine that still exists. Did I mention that Come and See the Throne Parasite is the highest rated film on Letterbox? Well, I haven't been on Letterbox in a couple of days, so. What you? Christmas. Carl is the name of the main villain, blonde villain. Yeah, Carl with a K because it's a German name. This is still a classic, man. So, classic film collector, watch this for Christmas. You won't regret it. And I also recommend the second one. Those are Christmas movies. You got to watch them this season. And also, three is a great is one of the best sequels, if not the best Die Hard sequel. This movie has also a lot of new segments like RoboCop. Yeah, it's fine. You still got to see the fifth one, even though it's not great. It's short. Your pain won't last very long. If you hate it, I get it. It's not for everyone, but there's things in it I did like. Some of the action's fine, and like I said, at 90 minutes it goes by quickly. Michael Bay's movies are twice as long, and they're way more painful because they're like 2.5 hours, and I'm like, no, hell no. A 90-minute movie I can stomach over a 2 hour and that 2.5 hour movie. Yep, the FBI. They come 90 minutes into the movie with like about 30 minutes left. Yeah, no, we're 90 minutes in. There's a Robert Davi. Yeah, He puts a gun down. This is when he gets captured. Again, he does a southern accent, which is so laughable because I'm like, where did that come from? Yep, he catches him 90 minutes in. You're dead. The movie's over. But no, they have to stretch. Hi there. Watch. That's funny because he changes his accent out of nowhere. It's just yeah. If you know, it's a great villain, and then when he breaks here, I'm like, yeah, you weakened him a little bit. Which is worse, Madame Blunt's Southern accent in Looper or Flo's Russian accent? No, Flo's worse because it's you hear it a lot more. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch could do a Southern accent pretty well, because when he does an accent, it's not laughable. When Alan Rickman does it here, it just comes out of nowhere. Like he's doing, I'm German, I'm talking like this, and then he's like, "Oh God, no, don't kill me," and I'm like, that's laughable. I know people like this is a classic, but that scene is laughable. It is. Even when I was a kid, when I first saw this, I'm like, why did he break down? If this was a movie now, I'd be like, hi there, you're dead. If this was the Punisher, the villain would have died instantly. He wouldn't have chat with him and give him a cigarette. No, because the Punisher punishes the wicked. Have you seen the comics? Have you seen him in the comics? Or I think this is the black guy that passed away. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a stupid scene. There's no scene like this in the second movie or the third movie, because even though William Sadler bumps into McClane in the airport, it's not a oh my god, don't kill me. No, he Sadler's just cold the whole movie. He barely even smiles. He's just got this cold, dead eye look. Come on, puppy puppy, how you doing, puppy puppy? You're such a fluffy wuppy dog. I love you so much. You're a good puppy. Way to watch the wire. This dog means so much to me. Come on, come on. Come on. Yeah, yeah, come on. You're so fluffy. That's right. Look, this is my dog, Dolly. Look, see her? Yeah, she loves me. She's a cocker spaniel. No, no, she's a Shih Tzu and a Cavalier mix. Good dog. Favorite and least favorite Spike Lee movies? Well, I do like Do the Right Thing, Clay, Bill, Clay. Hmm. Yeah, because Flo's accent or Russian accent is so fake, it sounds like a cartoon, like from Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's sad when Anna Taylor Joy's Russian accent was less laughable in New Mutants because she's Colossus's sister. They could bring her back, not Anna Taylor Joy. They'll just recast, but why not? You know, just don't let them sound like cartoon characters. Plus, she has like a Final Fantasy sword. Where did that come from? I never read the New Mutants, but I'm like, I don't remember Final Fantasy swords in any X Men comic that I read. Yeah, he does like two accents. She Hate Me, Miracle on Saint Anna, The Sweet Melodies, and his remake of Old Boy are amongst his worst. Yeah, I haven't seen those because they're a little bit pretentious. And Old Boy, the original exists, so I can always watch that before I see the remake. Yeah, but it doesn't work this time. The gun's empty. Oops. There's a white Christmas tree in the background. I did like from Jungle Fever, but it's way too long. Like that movie's over 2 hours. It could have been an hour and 50 minutes at the longest. We get it. It's a drama about racism. We get it. Puppy, whoopee, 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 whoopee. Love petting this animal. The stunt doubles for Bruce Willis doesn't bother me because he couldn't do all of his own stunts. I get that, but that scene where he catches Hans, like it's laughable. Even when I first saw it, I'm like, it just feels out of place in this really serious action, dramatic. Even with movie with some comedy in it, but it's not overboard. It's like a joke here and there. Yeah, he shoots the glass and he cuts his feet. At least they show the consequences of John walking through glass. He bleeds because when Batman jumps through glass, no blood, nothing, just doesn't get cut at all. There's a 4K restoration of the original Old Boy coming to theaters in February, I think. Neon is handing that release. I might go see it because I want to see the original. It's always good to see the original before the remake to know what you're getting into. We're almost done. I'm gonna make it. See, if he was wearing shoes, the glass wouldn't have cut his feet. That's a cringeworthy scene when he's crawling through the floor and his feet are bleeding. Ugh, the cringe. Yep. I'm excited for Creed 3 and John Wick 4. Definitely John Wick Chapter 4. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this part makes me cringe. An hour and 40 minutes into the movie. Ooh. He's spilling blood all over the floor. And yeah, see, he's not a superhero. If this was Emily Blunt, she wouldn't take a scratch. Why? Because she's a woman. Yeah, kiss my ass. You bleed out of another area, so you're just as weak as any feminazi. So what do you know? Yeah, this makes me cringe. Even in the theater, I was like, "Ouch, man!" Because I've gotten glass in my foot. It hurts a lot. Ouch. Damn. This is gonna make you cringe, classic film collector. If you've seen a lot of R-rated movies where they lose a body part or they bleed excessively, yeah, it's hard to watch sometimes. I know. I donate blood every year, so it's just waiting. There's the sun's coming. Okay, there, that's better. The sun's rays are hitting the screen. I'm doing this in the daytime. Hmm. Hmm. Lots of them. I've seen movies where people's eye were stabbed and it's gruesome. Yeah. B I. Hey, this guy passed away too. This Canadian guy that was in Blank Check, Gremlins 2. I miss him a lot. Yeah. He was like the Seth Rogen of the 80s and 90s. I miss him a lot. I know the nostalgia critic didn't think he was funny in Blank Check, but it's a kids movie. He did the best he could. Yep, he has to bandage up his feet because he's a bloody mess. And if he lost that much blood, he would have been passed out because he would have passed out easily. Because when I donate blood, I usually have to take a nap. I got to put the music up for this. Dun, 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 dun. It's an uplifting scene for a villain. That music is fantastic. Thank you, John McTiernan. Merry Christmas. Yes, yes, that's a great scene, man. It's who knew that a villain can have an uplifting scene? Yeah, again, kiss my ass, Suicide Squad. This is how you do it. Yeah, this is how you do it. You get that grandiose music. Bum, 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 bum. Don't worry, that music is not copyrighted. And in case you were wondering, no, don't worry, darling. Hereditary and Midsummer have no eye stabs. No, because they're the don't worry, darling is sexist. The women have to kill the men in the movie. Why? Because they're men. This movie doesn't do that. That's such an uplifting scene. An hour and 40 minutes in, the villains they actually succeed. Well, almost succeed. That's just a glimmer of hope for them. It's great. I heard that in the theater, and I was like, "That's a great scene." They're just looking at the vault opening. They're like, "Oh!" It's like Disney. With all the money that they have, even though this year they failed. There's no scene like this in the other films. Not even the third one when they find the gold. It's not as uplifting as that scene. That's the one scene that could never be replicated in any film. That bum bum bum, and don't worry, it's not copyrighted music. We're fine. It's classical music. It doesn't have any lyrics, so don't penalize me for that, YouTube. Ooh, Because the problem with Midsummer, Hereditary, and the other ones, none of the females are American in the movie. Why are you wasting my time with that? Olivia Wilde is, but she's a supporting character in that movie because she was directing it. And again, I don't blame her. I blame the writer. That writer that works with her doesn't know how to write good male characters. That's why I killed them off. Just saying, she's not a good her writer, not a good writer. Book smart, yeah, good movie, but the writing needed some work. You needed a male character I cared about. Instead, you had the gay guys, the background guys, and the villain and one of the criminals. That's it. And Caitlin Deaver's dad. That's it. And he's barely in the movie. Millie Shapiro, the girl in Hereditary, is American. Yeah, the little girl, but the main woman's Toni Collette. I don't care about her. Ugly woman. The movie's almost over, so we're getting to the third act where on the top of the building where he's looking for Holly. And yes, that name has been used a lot. The name John McClane, John Wick, John Legend. Really, the name John is in. Olivia can't write her movies herself. I know, Josh, but the thing is, she should get a new writer, not some sexist writer that's going to kill off men and make them background characters. She's not writing Madam Web, so get a new writer, please. She isn't a writer. Even if she hired a black writer, I don't think she enjoyed very much. Look at the little posies. I'll feed you in a little bit, Rat, after the movie's over. I gotta go catch a check. He's limping, yeah, he's shirtless, but not by choice because his tank top got messed up. Yeah, you saw the whole thing's wired. Cover this up. There, I think, yeah. There we go. Have to get the sun out, its rays out of the way. Do you have pros and cons with Gone? Any pros with Gone with the Wind? It's shot well. It's mostly acted well, but it's too long. The movie's too long. It's almost 4 hours long. It feels long. When I was watching it, I felt like I was watching it for like 2 days straight. Movie should not be that long. This movie's long enough. 2 hours and change, that's enough. Past 2.5, I'm like, wrap this up, please. There's a stunt double again. See, Lucy has a line. Yeah, Jack doesn't have any lines in the movie, but he's in the film though. See? If this movie was made today, Hollywood would have done like some martial arts or something out of nowhere. If you were to remake where the boys are, I guess I'd star at least two bentos. Why would I see that movie again? That movie's so dark. At least I didn't have to wear headphones for this because it's a long movie, and I already did that the other day on Friday. Yep, he shot him right in the shoulder. Carl is just a ruthless man. Because even at the end, when he just pops out at the there's no spoilers for this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, you know what happens. Except for classic film collector because he hasn't seen it. But Carl is ruthless in this movie. I'm not going to say anything. Die Hard just can never be remade. And don't even think of remaking Die Hard 2 because you try to do terrorism on a plane in near Washington or in New York, it's not going to get made. Because again, New Yorkers are very sensitive now. We have a freedom tower that symbolizes that, yeah, you couldn't beat us, Al Qaeda. You couldn't beat us. That's a great scene. He hangs him like freaking like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat with his spear, but from with a chain instead. It's like, and is he dead? Well, you'll see at the end. Can't believe the movie's almost over, but it's fun, and I'm glad that it got. Have you seen The Good Son? Not all the way through because it's super dark, but I can watch it now as an adult. If the Asian guy dies and there was no protests in the theater, like with the yeah, they try to shoot him and he jumps off the building. This is a great stunt, by the way. People do not try this at home. Don't try to jump off a roof saying you're John McClane again. It's a movie. It's not real. The stuntman risked his life just to do the stunt practically without any CGI. Not just that one, but he takes the hose, the fire hose, and wraps it around his leg. Yeah, it's crazy. Here it comes. Yeah, this is very dangerous. Don't try this, guys. Blow the roof. Yeah. Again, blowing up a giant building. Yeah. Again, that is great. Look at that. They really well. They didn't really do that. So So it's a practical effect, but wow. And this is before Tom Cruise did this, so McLean did it first. Ethan Hunt, he did it first. And what if they made a feature length live action remake of Santa Claus is Coming to Town and the Rankin Bass with Tom Holland and Caitlin Deaver? Why? Tom Holland's in everything now. Good stunt work, man. Basically, Ghost Protocol homaged this scene by doing the same thing, but instead of a fire hose, is a string. Because nowadays movies feel too long. Now, back in the 80s and the 90s, people had more patience. The movies were long. Yeah, there were some action films were over 2 hours, but you didn't feel it. But nowadays, when a movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes, or 2 hours and 45 minutes, or 3 hours, you feel it in your legs, guys. Trust me. I've been there. Hold on. Spill this out. We're almost done. Where the movie's got a few minutes left, and then we can move on with our day. I gotta eat some lunch, and then I'll go out. Puppy, 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 puppy. I'm gonna feed you a little bit, all right, puppy? Those ears. Ears are so soft. Is Dumbo too short? Yeah, the original's a little bit short, but a lot of the classic Disney movies in the 30s, 40s, all the way to like the 70s were pretty short. But when they remake them, some of them are just much longer, and they don't need to be that long. Pinocchio was only 96 minutes. It wasn't 2 hours. It didn't need to be because some movies are just too long. Put it up a little bit. Two bullets. I said I was going to do Die Hard this year, and I finally did it. I had to find a way. Yeah, this is when Argot punches the black guy. He hits him first, and then he punches him out. Boom. See, it's a nice sucker punch. That's a great shot of just Bruce Willis's silhouette in the background. Playing how Gemma calling Chris Pratt a stupid man, and Don't Worry is like Rufio. Yeah, it's like that movie, but that movie did it much better. Hook is a classic. I don't care what Spielberg says; it's a good movie. Don't Worry, Darling. Gemma's the stupid man, if you ask me. She thinks she's a dude. He's limping, and you don't see his face. You just see his background, his silhouette. Put down the gun. Yippee ki yay! A motherfucker. How will you feel if Naomi Aki gets an Oscar nomination for I Want to Dance with Somebody? I don't even know who that is. The Jana from Rise of Skywalker, I don't care. She's not even African American. The least you could do is get somebody that's actually African American, like Whitney Houston was. They can't even do that right. That's how stupid Hollywood is. They can't hire Americans to play Americans. So kiss my American ass, Hollywood. Yep, happy trails, Hans. I love that line too. And he falls out the window. Yes, they really dropped Alan Rickman out this window. It's a great stunt, and the look on his face, like, yep, yep, my watch. He wants my watch. Dun, 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 dun. This is a slow mo shot that even Zack Snyder would be jealous of. Slow mo, and he's like, oh no! She has to look of terror on his face because it really did it. It's like Doctor Strange when he's going through the portal in the first movie. I usually think only because most people don't like black actors as they don't cast most black leads. Things have changed. Yeah, things have changed because they're bankable now, but they don't always have to do it to force it down our throats. He gets blood all over her. It's like the ending of that kung fu episode last week that there was blood all over her hands, and I was like, damn. Well, that's the movie. It's almost done. Yeah, it's long. It's a long movie, but I'm glad I didn't have to put headphones. Still a classic movie, man. Any updates on when you're watching Knives Out? I'll watch it later this week, Classic Film Collector. I'm not in a hurry. I just saw this movie, and it took me years to do a podcast for this one, mainly because my DVD was scratched. So I'll try to get it on Blu-ray by next year. Since Bruce Willis is retiring, he's officially retired next year. I'll just go back and watch his old films again. This was fun. They finally see each other in 2 hours and 5 minutes into the movie. This is where Wakanda Forever pretty much is in the third act at the 2 hour mark where she's finally in the costume. It took way too long. I think that Shuri should have been in the costume an hour into the movie. Not 5 minutes, but at least an hour, not 2 hours. Marvel, we don't want to wait. You saw the bonds are falling from the building. This twist also works because you don't see it coming. See, there's Carl. Ka-chow, 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 ka-chow. And people clapped in the theater too. Who shot him? Not McClane, but Allen. Yep. Sorry, Rat. I know I woke you up, but I'm gonna feed you, okay? As soon as this is done. I had to finish this early. Yep. He said he would never shoot another guy, but he had to save John's life. Do Lightyear and Strange World feel as if they come out years ago? Yeah. If it came out years ago, they wouldn't have had the gay agenda in it. It would have been a nice G-rated movie in the 2000s or the 2010s. Such a great movie, man. See it, Classic Film Collector. You owe yourself. '88 is the year you were born. That's the year this movie came out. Oh, she sucker punches him. That's hilarious. And she assaults him on national TV. Did you get that? Kiss. And here comes Let It Snow. The weather outside is frightful. Not a Christmas song, though. So that was Die Hard, guys. One of the greatest action movies to ever be made. At 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah. It's long, but it works. That was amazing. One of the best action movies ever. And I could stop it here because it's not on DVD. So that was Die Hard. Thanks for watching, guys. You left a lot of comments. It's a classic Christmas movie. It's a great action film. Please watch it, Classic Film Collector. I'll make sure to check this out ASAP. This one and Die Hard 2, Die Harder. That's on your watch list. Should put it there. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.